Sadhguruji, you just mentioned love, and today it is about life and love. And I would like to know, for us, it is maybe love your family members, whoever it could be. Why I ask you this is because there's so many versions of this, and I really want to get to it. Some teachers, some gurus, some guides will say, you know, you can love, but you must be detached.
Oh.
You must love, but it cannot be conditional. It should be unconditional. And so there's versions of it. I just want to know.
See,
So,
the simple way of make you keep coming back to me is to give you something that you cannot do. To give you a teaching which you can never do. You must love, but you must be detached. Now you have to keep coming back to me for consultation, endlessly.
Sorry.
I'm saying throw yourself into your love affair and die into it, something will happen. Something worthwhile will happen if you're willing to die into the process. Not just anything, whether it's your work or your life or your love or whatever, if you do not know how to throw your entire self into it, you will never know the taste of what it is. Love but be detached. Why do you want to love then? Only because you want to include somebody as a part of your life, part of yourself, that's why you love. No, I love but I am detached. This means you have to come back to consultation every day, it's like a psychiatrist's job. Every day you have to come and sit on the couch. You need treatment and there is a fee.
So, okay, all right. So you can love and be attached.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, I'm coming back for consultation, please. So what did you say?
I only said, see, what is this need for love in a human being? You must understand, a human being constantly, a human being is longing to be something more than what they are right now. If this finds a simple, basic physical expression, we call this sexuality. Sexuality means just this, physically you're trying to make something which is not you a part of yourself. For a few moments you may succeed. If you try this mentally, it gets labeled as greed, conquest, or maybe simply shopping. Shopping.
Oh.
Some people go for conquest with swords and guns, some people go with checkbooks and cash, credit cards. The thing is, you want to include something which is not a part of you as yourself, that is the whole effort. Whether you want money or wealth or you want to occupy a nation, what is it? Something that is not you, you want to make it yours. Yours is an effort to make it a part of yourself. If it happens emotionally, on the emotional level if you try this, we call this a love affair. You're trying to make somebody who is not a part of you, a part of yourself emotionally. This is a love affair. If you do it consciously, we call this yoga. Yoga means union. So all these efforts are fine, everything has its own beauty but has its own limitations. When you understand the limitations of all the other methods, nothing right or wrong about it, it is just that it will work briefly, it will not work for always. When you realize that, you consciously try to include. When you consciously become an inclusive process, if you sit here, if you experience everything as yourself, then we say you're a yogi, okay? So this is a love affair successful.
It was something you said at the end which I would like to ask you again. You said love, inclusiveness. I can't understand how I can love everybody in this room.
You cannot. There's some people you cannot love.
I can barely see up there and up there. So how is that? How do you include everybody in your love?
See, because you are looking at love as something that comes to you or you yield to the process of love only because you appreciate a particular quality, a shape of somebody's nose or the shape of their mind or their thought or their emotion or the way they speak or the way they do things or the way they relate to you, something, okay? There are many things. It is based on something that is acceptable to you. If they do something that is not acceptable to you, love crumbles.
Yes.
Now what I'm saying is, I want you to look at this. Whether love happens to you or hate happens to you, anger happens to you, misery happens to you, joy happens to you, it only happens within you, isn't it?
Yes.
It never… People say love is in the air. No. Because you are feeling very pleasant in your emotions, suddenly air feels vibrant. It always been, you missed it all your life, now you're beginning to feel it.
Okay.
All right? So, whatever human experience, love or hate, whatever, happens only within you. What I'm saying is, at least what happens within you must happen by your choice. Consciously you must be able to make it happen. If you are able to… if your experience of what is happening within you is happening by choice, what is the problem? It only happens within you. Love is not a relationship. A relationship is a different thing. Love is a certain sweetness of your emotion. Whether you look at a tree, or a dog, or a man, or a woman, or a child, or just at the sky, why can't you look at it lovingly? Because it's not about loving the sky, it's about the sweetness of your emotion. If your emotions are sweet, whatever you look at it in a certain way. Right now you have nasty emotions, whatever you look at it in a different way. So you have always associated love with somebody. No, this is not about somebody. Love is not something that you do, it is something that you can become. If you're willing, you can become love, you can make your emotion into a very sweet space. If you make your body very pleasant, it becomes pleasure. If you sit here, it can be great pleasure just sitting here and breathing. If your mind becomes pleasant, we say this is joy. If your emotions become pleasant, we say this is love. If your very life energies become pleasant, we say this is blissfulness, this is ecstasy. If your surroundings become pleasant, we call that success. Now you're calling your success with somebody as love, that's a mistake. You have a success story with somebody, that is, you have created pleasantness in the atmosphere between you and let's say 5–10 people around you. You're calling that love. No, that is actually success, because that needs lots of management.
Yes, it does.
Yes or no?
Yes, it does.
Yes, but for you to be loving, there is no management. If you just make your emotions sweet, your emotions are sweet and it's beautiful to be like this. It's not about anybody. If somebody comes, we can share it. If nobody comes, you can sit here with your eyes closed and still be loving. What's the problem? It is not about somebody, it's not an action. It is not something that you do, it is something that you can become.
It's a lovely, idyllic.
It is not idyllic, it is the way it is.
I mean, you'd really have to practice this.
Why?
Because I'm thinking…
this is what exactly I'm saying. If it is an action comes to perfection with practice. Only if it's an action. I'm saying love is not an act. Is health an act? Are you acting healthy right now?
No.
I know you're an actor, but are you acting healthy?
No.
So health is, because we have done certain things and health is, isn't it?
Oh, we've not done certain things, we've
been
given health.
No. Oh, we've been given, but if you eat bad, if you live bad, you won't be healthy. We've done certain things to manage our health. Similarly, if you do certain things, you can manage the pleasantness of your mind. If you do certain other things, you can manage the pleasantness of your emotion. If you do certain other things, you can manage the pleasantness of your very life energies. This is things that you can do. Now, what you can do internally, you're trying to manage externally. What can be done here within you, you're trying to manage by creating an atmosphere around you, which is a very difficult thing to do, because outside will never happen 100% the way you want it. To some extent we can manage, we can't do all of it by ourselves because there are many forces involved.
Sadhguruji, you said something about health, and you said you do certain things for yourself. Certain things. One, you are given health, and then how you maintain it is you eat well, you exercise, and you remain healthy. Now, to be loving, when maybe in a household, any situation, maybe outside, like you said, outside forces are not pleasant. It doesn't come easily to then just be loving. So what is the practice to become that way or to train yourself to be that way?
I want to remove this idea from your mind. You believe you need to practice. Practice means you're trying to perfect an action, isn't it?
To be loving at all times?
Yes, that is not an act.
No, not an act.
No, I
But
don't
to
want
be
to
so
I don't want to go
accepting.
back to the movies, okay?
No, to be so accepting, because
No, it's not about accepting. Right now, do you want to keep your mind, your thought process, pleasant or nasty? Tell me, what is your choice?
ideally pleasant.
No, just tell me, pleasant or nasty? You're thinking about it, this is…
No, I'm trying to think, should I fox you and say nasty?
Say it.
Okay, nasty.
I'm going to bless you now.
No. Okay, I take back my words. Okay. All right.
Any
so-
human being's choice for themselves is definitely pleasantness,
Yes.
isn't it? Body, mind, emotion, everything and surroundings, you want it pleasant.
Yes.
So why is it not pleasant? Surroundings are not pleasant because of many things.
Yes.
If your thought and emotion are not pleasant, it's entirely you, isn't it?
Yes.
Surroundings, not entirely me, it's so many forces. We have to manage them, we have to juggle them. Not always are we successful with everything around us. Different people have different levels of competence to manage the outside. Not all of us have the same, the skill to manage the outside. But inside, your emotion and your thought, why is it not happening your way? This is something we have to look at. This has to be addressed, every human being has to address this. At least your thought and your emotion must happen the way you want. It's like this. On a certain day, a lady went to sleep. A lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream, I think up there. Oh, there are two strata of people. Nobody's asleep, right? So that I could pick on you, I'm just looking if I can see. She went to sleep up there and in her dream, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man standing in that corner. And then he started coming closer and closer and closer. He came so close she could even feel his breath. She trembled, not in fear. And then she asked, "What will you do to me?" The man said, "Well, lady, it's your dream." I'm saying, what's happening in your mind is your bloody dream. Now the problem with life is not that life is not happening the way you want it, even your dream is not happening the way you want it. That's a problem. I'm saying at least fix this, at least let the dream happen the way you want it. If you are dreaming the way you want right now, your thought and your emotion would be pleasant, isn't it?
Yes, but well…
Fixing the world is another thing, that's a different game. That needs lot of skill. This needs just willingness. Why we are continuously talking about joy, blissfulness, love is not because it's a goal by itself, these are not goals by itself. Only when you're pleasant by your own nature, you stop being in pursuit of happiness. You are fine by yourself. You don't have to go anywhere to feel pleasant. You don't have to do anything to feel pleasant. Sitting here, you're feeling very pleasant. Now you will look at life the way it is. Otherwise, you're an endless race. Pursuit of your happiness is a lifelong thing. Till your deathbed you're pursuing, what does it mean? That means you're a failure. If you're pursuing happiness when you were 5, I can understand. But that was not the fact. When you were 5, you're simply happy by your own nature. When you're 50, you're pursuing your happiness, this is a failed story, isn't it?
Okay, so what is it really? Please tell us please define it for us. What is it? What is going on? This life, this love, all these emotions that we go through in our lives, all these thoughts that we create for ourselves. What is going on?
These are all human possibilities and capabilities. Every possibility becomes a problem for those who do not explore the possibility in its right perspective. Thought is a tremendous possibility. An ant cannot think like you. He can work better than you, he's more disciplined, he better traffic rules than you. There's no traffic jam out there, okay? But he cannot think like you. That sets us apart. This is a possibility. But now this possibility has become a problem for 90% of the humanity. Now they're freaking because they can think. And they're thinking all the wrong things, their thoughts have become nasty. If they were pleasant, they would have enjoyed their thought process. Because it's become nasty, it's becoming an ailment, isn't it? People are suffering their thoughts immensely because they do not know how to keep it pleasant, nothing has been done towards it. So what is a possibility always becomes a problem if you do not explore it in the right perspective. So your thought and emotion has become a problem. Now love affair is a problem, you're making all kinds of things out of it, which are all coming from this misunderstanding. Not understanding this thought and emotion is generated by me, I can generate it whichever way I want. If nastiness is what you like, you do it. I don't care if that's what you like, but you're suffering it. If you're suffering it, you shouldn't be doing it. I'm not telling you be loving. What is your choice, pleasantness or unpleasantness? If unpleasantness is your choice, you enjoy it, do it, what is my problem? You want to drink poison, what is my problem? I'm just telling you, this is poison, this is this. Drink whatever you want, but by choice. Don't drink unconsciously, that's stupid. That is not befitting of a human being. A human being means we are far more conscious than every other creature on this planet. That's what sets us apart. Every creature eats, but we can eat consciously. So our eating becomes so many things. Every creature has sexual drives, they go and fulfill it whichever way. We can do it consciously, so we become something. We are doing the same things, but we are doing it consciously. Suddenly there is a magic about it, not because sex is magic, food is magic, no. Because we can do it consciously, every basic act like eating and copulating becomes magical because we can do it consciously. If you leave that one thing, if you exclude that one thing from your life, that you're not conscious about the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you move your body, if you're not conscious about it, everything can turn ugly, everything can become nasty. So it is this which sets you apart from every other creature. So, a dog is walking on the street, if you show it a biscuit, it'll wag its tail, if you do this, grrr, it'll do. If this is what you are, that if somebody is nice to you, you'll wag your whatever, if somebody is not nice to you, you will bite them. I'm saying where is evolution in you? Forget about civilization, I'm talking about evolution. Where is the evolution? Where is the sign of evolution, I'm asking?